What's going on? This could be I guess part 4 on the 1995 Mustang GT. About a month ago I took this thing out for a drive. I needed to get some gas in it, and a few hours before I had bought that yellow pile, which you'll see that in a separate video. But I wanted to take this thing out for a drive, and went down the road, took off, and to see the RPM just wind up to about like 4,000. It did not want to shift into second gear, and I'm like, well, I'll just go up to the next road, maybe turn around. It finally shifted into second, and then finally into third, and it kind of seemed to want to bounce around between second and third. This was a little bit of a highway, more of a highway, because it was basically doing the same thing it did when I went to get the car legal, which when I got back from getting the tag and registration, all that stuff, took off with it. Transmission was fine after that. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess it just needed to relearn itself or what. But I went to the gas station, which was about 7 miles from my house, gassed it up, and figured, oh, maybe it'll fix itself again. Took off with it. No, it's still doing the same thing, weird shifting stuff, where it just takes forever to shift into second. It'll go into third, but then wants to kind of bounce around, and like no overdrive or anything. And I'd planned on replacing the throttle position sensor to see if that maybe fixed anything on it, but Ford, in their wisdom, they put screws, and the only thing I accomplished was stripping those damn things out. So I just ended up buttoning it back up. And I was going to take it for a drive anyway and do a video of me filming while I'm driving to just see how the transmission does. But cranked it back up, and then the alternator decided to not be charging. So last thing I wanted to be driving it, and the it cuts out in the middle while I'm trying to drive it or something like that. So just didn't want to cooperate. And I had years ago I had a Crown Vic 2003, and I drove it one day, got to the store, and left from the store, and it didn't want to shift right either, and ended up doing a scan on it. It said the throttle position sensor was out of range. Replaced it, and it fixed the shifting. So I was going to try it with this, but I have to sit there, either try to bust those screws off or end up kind of destroying that throttle position sensor. I'd rather not do, just in case there's nothing wrong with that one, because the factory Ford one versus, I'm not sure if you can, maybe you can get a Motorcraft one, I'm not sure, but I got like a standard one, I think, standard automotive products or something like that. So most like what I'm gonna end up doing is just taking the tag and registration off this, insurance, and putting it on that car, which you'll see it in another video. But you actually get a little bit of a sneak peek while it's cleaned up. The video I got of it, it's dirty. I go over everything on that car. And so that's going to be it for this one for now. I'm going to park it. Now also, I picked up a parts car for that yellow 90 or yellow 94. This you can see it there. It's a V6 car, 98 V6, 5-speed car. So while the V6 T5 is not as good as like a 91 and up V8 T5, it's about as good as an 85 to 90 world-class V8 transmission. So it probably hold up fine to a stock 5-liter like this anyway. So, but there still is other swap parts to put. You know, I got to get a cross member. I do have a bell housing, and the problem with this one also is the exhaust. They cut it from the front cat's back and then welded it to the muffler, so it's just solid from there. So I either have to cut the exhaust off from there to drop the transmission. Now I prefer not to swap the transmission on this. I'm going to go ahead and I got to replace the alternator on this thing first, and then try to get that throttle position sensor off, replace it, and maybe just drive it on jack stand and see if it does anything with the shifting, but I kind of doubt it. Then I'll know for sure. But maybe even replace this harness as well, the fuel injector harness, just to see if that takes anything else, because there's a lot of chewed up wires and stuff. Nothing separated, but I mean, it could just be giving bad connection issues, and rather than try to repair it, it probably can never be 100% right. So, but we'll see on that. So that's probably going to be it for this one. I'm probably going to stealing the wheels off of it. I don't know about the interior, putting the other car, which you'll see that in another video. But that's it for this one for now. But y'all take it easy.